7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Welcome to this Open Science webinar series brought to you by USM Library. I'm Muhammad Kamal Muhammad Napiah, USM Librarian, will be your moderator for today's webinar. We feel so glad to have with us two distinguished speakers from Hong Kong University Libraries, Ms. Tina Yang and also Mr. JC Xiao. How are you, Ms. Tina and Mr. JC?
Very well, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Hi,
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, that's great. So we can't wait to listen to your presentation. Moreover, to listen to your success story and the challenges that you face in implementing Open Science and also RDM at HKU libraries. So we would like also to thank all the viewers from YouTube as well as from Facebook page. Welcome and thanks very much for joining us this morning. So I can see that we are having participants from various institutions, not merely from Malaysia, but also from abroad. And please introduce yourself in the chat function in YouTube or in Facebook page so that we're going to know each other better. Before we start, I just want to make a few announcements. For your information, we will provide e-certificate to all the participants and also the CPD points for USM members. So what you need to do is you just need to fill in our e-feedback form. So the link to the feedback form will be given towards the end of our session. And throughout the session, if you have any question, do not hesitate to type your question in the chat box, starting with the word question, QUESTION, and followed by your own question. And our committee member will compile them all, and we will bring it forward to our speakers during Q&A session later. And for your information also, this webinar will be recorded, and you can simply go to our YouTube channel in order to view them later, together with another video under the same series. As you know that last month we have organized a similar program by Leiden University Library. So basically the video also is available in our YouTube channel. So feel free to view all the videos at our YouTube channel 24/7 at your own convenience. So I think now we have come to our main agenda. But before that, let me introduce you to our speakers. The first speaker is Ms. Tina Yang. She is the Associate Librarian, Learning and Research Services at the University of Hong Kong Libraries. She provides strategic leadership in planning, promoting, and delivering a wide range of learning and research services across HKU Libraries network of 7 libraries. She also oversees the library information services, including service delivery and information literacy training through both face-to-face and also online modes. She is currently the chair of IFLA Regional Standing Committee of Asia and Oceania. Next, our second speaker is Mr. JC Xiao. He is the Data and Scholarly Communication Librarian at HKU Libraries. He is also on the board of director of the Future of Research Communication and e-Scholarship. and also the co-chair of the World Data System for Early Career Researcher and Scientist Network. He is right now managing the Research Data Services team at HKU Libraries, including the institutional repository known as Scholars Hub to promote open data, open access, and open science. So I think without further ado, I would like to call upon Ms. Tina Yang and also Mr. JC to proceed with their presentation under the title of Data Stewardship at Hong Kong University Libraries. Please welcome Ms. Tina and Ms. JC.
Thanks, Kama, for your kind introduction. I would also like to thank USM Library to invite me and Jesse to share the research data services at Hong Kong U Library with the librarians in Malaysia. It is indeed a privilege to be here today. On my personal behalf, it is also a pleasure to be here today. I was in Malaysia actually in 2014 for the IFLA Regional Standing Committee for Asia and Oceania business meeting. Then in 2018, I attended the IFLA Congress in Malaysia as well. As a chair of the IFLA Regional Standing Committee of Asia and Oceania, I have been working with Malaysian librarians. My secretary, Izan, is also from Malaysia. Rashida and Diojit are all my friends. So indeed, it is a pleasure to be here to speak to you today. So first of all, I would like to give you an overview, a brief introduction to the University of Hong Kong. So University of Hong Kong was founded in 1911. It is the oldest academic university libraries in Hong Kong. Then during 2019 to 2020, we have 10 faculties and over 30,000 students and over 8,000 staff. Then the university was ranked 2020 in QS World University Ranking. Then 39 in 21 Times Higher Education World University Ranking. Next slide, please, Jason. The Hong Kong U is a research-intensive university. This table shows you the research profile during last year. As you can see, we have different research outputs and research projects in different disciplinary area, and also the distribution of research funding in different disciplines. So in total, there are over 5,000 research output, including many publications, then over 6,000 research projects, and also around 1.4 billion US dollars for research funding. So for the libraries, Hong Kong U Libraries consists of the main library and 6 branch libraries. The library was founded in 1921. We have the medical library, law library, education, dental, music libraries, as well as Feng Ping Shan Library, which is our East Asia collection, including the collections in East Asia, in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and other Asian languages. And you can explore the Hong Kong U Library through our 330 degree virtual tours. So as a library, our main role is to advance the teaching, learning, research, and knowledge exchange at the university. Jason? The libraries conducts different kinds of research services. You can see a wide range of research services are available through the library, including research data, research integrity, research visibility, impact, scholarly communication, digital scholarship, etc. So we try to integrate our research services into the research cycle of the researchers. So these are some of the highlights of the research services or the tools we offer to the university community. For example, we offer Turnitin, which is a software for originality checking, and Eno, the citation management software to support in research integrity. We also help the university to conduct the project on Hong Kong U scholars in top 1%. And for individual researchers, we offer citation certification service, which is a fee-based service, and publication verification service, also a fee-based service to support grant and award application. And Scholars Hub is our institutional repository, and JC will give you more details about this later on. And this is a data hub, university's data repository launched last year, in line with our university research data policy. So that's all for my brief introduction. I will pass the time to Jesse. He will give you more details on research data policy and open science and Hong Kong U.
Yeah, so thanks, Tina. So good morning, everyone. So I'm Jesse Xiao. So it's the Data Scholarly Communication Librarian at Hong Kong U Libraries. So in Hong Kong U Library, so actually we provide some research services, including research data services, sustainable digital scholarship, open access at Hong Kong U Library, research metric at Hong Kong U Library, and Hong Kong U e-journal services. So in my presentation, so I will introduce those services. I will focus on the research data services. So first part is, so what do we mean by research data? So you can see they have the computer code, the spreadsheet, audio type, and the notebooks. So which kind of things is research data? So which one is research data? And actually, they are all research data. So the research data definition is any information that has been collected, observed, generated, or created to validate the original research finding. So although it usually as the digital format, but research data can also include those no digital formats, such as the notebook or diaries. Yeah. So why we do research data management? So there are some compliance. So the first one is compliance with university and the school policy. So I will introduce our Hong Kong U research data and record management policy later on. And also it's compliance with the funding organization. So nowadays, so a lot of funders required to do the data management plan and the data sharing, such as BBSRC, Welcome to NIH, NSF. So they all require researchers to do the research data management and the data sharing. And also it complies with some journals. So when you submit your manuscript to some journal, so a lot of journals have the data policy that require you share and publish the data together with your article. And also to for the benefit, so the research data management will keep your research safe and secure, and it will increase the research efficiency and improve the research integrity. So from the data sharing and the data publishing, so it will make the research output more visible. So in our university, Hong Kong U, so we have some requirement for the postgraduate student. So we call the RPG student. So there are some actions for those students, for RPG student, they need to do. The first stage is read our policy when the student begin the RPG program at Hong Kong U. So actually, it's very easy to find our university research data policy. So you can just Google search HKU research data, and then you can find our research services website, research data and the record management policy. So I highlight some parts from our data policy, how our university data policy let the university recognize that the accurate and the retrievable research data are essential components of any research project and necessary to verify and defend. And also it mentions the research data and the record should be retained for as long as they are of continually value. And the minimal retention period for research data and the record is 3 years. So in our MPhil and the PhD program handbook, so it also mentioned our data policy. So you can see, it mentions on the probation and the confirmation of candidature stage. So the students need to submit the data management plan, and due to the period of study, so a data set where applicable is to be submitted. And also when they submit the thesis for the examination, so the description of the data set should be also submitted. And also for the thesis examinations, so the DMP and the dataset should be sent to the examiner to review. So, the to-do task 2 is submit the data management plan input form. So actually we have the research data services website. So you can access our research data services website at here. So when the student access our website, they can click the RPG student page. So yes, so this is the action 2. So in our research data service website, so the student can log in the account, and then he can check the profile first to check the supervisor information. So if the supervisor information is correct, so he can click the information correct and then continue to submit the form. So here in the DMP input form, so we have the 4 options. So option 1 is data is freely available on the internet. So that means you can download your data from internet. So that's why the DMP and dataset submission are not needed. The option B is data has been licensed or contracted for or purchased with a license. So that means you have buy your data from other database, or your data have been licensed. So in this condition, so you also do not need to submit the data management plan. So the option C is no data was used in your research project. So also, if you choose option C, the DMP and the dataset submission is not needed. So for the last one is option D, is you will generate or you will use the research data. So in this situation, so you should submit the DMP and the dataset will be uploaded later. So this is our DMP input procedures for option A, B, and C. Yeah. So if you choose option A, B, and C, that means you will not generate your research data in your research project. So in this situation, so the process is quite easy. So you just submit the form, and then your form will send to your primary supervisor, and then your supervisor can log in the system to approve it. So after that, you can just the student just print out the form and submit to the faculty. So here is some example for the option A. So this example shows the student choose option A. Data is freely available on the internet, and also he or she need to provide the URL of the dataset retrieved online. So here the student input, he downloads the data from Fixture here, and then it's approved by his primary supervisor. For option B, is data has been licensed or purchased with a license. So in this option, so you also need provide the evidence. So in this example, the student says the data are purchased from genetic and environmental race of the disease consortium. So that's why he or she cannot submit the raw data to us. So also it needs the primary supervisor to approve it. For option C is just choose the option C. No data was used. So then it also need the primary supervisor to approve. So how about option D? Yeah, because option A, B, C is quite easy, but most of students should have the data during he or she research project. So if you choose option D, so that means you need to submit the data management plan (DMP). So the to-do task 3 is to prepare your data management plan with the DMP tool. So what is the DMP? So the DMP is a document in which you describe what data you will collect during your research project and how you are going to store and manage the data during the project, and what will happen to the data after the project is finished. So your DMP should be a living document that describes all of the practice for the research project. So a data management plan is not only for our university data policy, it also can help you and your research. So we provide the data management plan tool platform, so DMP tool platform. So you can access our DMP tool platform at dmp.lib.hku.hk. So this platform will help you to write the DMP. So we also prepare our DMP template. So in our template, so it includes the 7 basic elements, such as data collection, documentation and metadata, ethical and legal compliance, storage and backup, selection and preservation, data sharing, responsibilities and resources. So those 7 basic elements. So in those elements, so they also have some questions in the elements. So the student need answer it one by one. So also when you write your DMP, so we prepare some samples DMPs. So you may wish to access those URL to download some sample DMPs to reference it. So after the after the student or researchers finish the DMP through the data management plan tool platform, so it will automatically generate the Word document, the DMP with the Word document. So you can upload it in the DMP form here, and click the Submit DMP Now. So after that, the form will also send to you. You send to your primary supervisor, and then the supervisor can approve it. Okay, so we are go to the to do task 4 is for the RPG student to submit he or she's research data. So they need to submit the research data when they submit the draft thesis. So what to deposit in your data set? So there are some essential components, so such as your data management plan, so your data set, either quantitative or qualitative, raw data or processed data. And also we require the student need to submit the readme file. So the readme file is the metadata about all the data files, so including the file format, codebook, etc. So it usually is the TST format, but generally this file is a plain text. So it should be cover all the information which can help other researcher or other user to understand how data are stored and organized for a given project. And our library also provide the our library also provide the readme template, so the student or researcher can download our readme template in our research data LibGuide here. So there are some questions about why we need a readme file. So a readme are here for the interested reader. So you may come across a large directory of files, such as at least 1,000 genomics projects. So there are list of files. There are more than 1,000 files in the directory. So a readme file can provide some signposts to help you get started reviewing the data. So do you need all of those files or just subset file needed? So a readme file can help you to make a decision. So the readme file can make your data more useful. So let's compare some cases here. So you may open a folder, have a series of subfolder in the large folder, such as this one. And however, the naming can be varied. So it results some underscore or have the version A, version B, etc. in the folder naming. So you should be very confused about actually what kind of data in this folder. But consider the other organization in the right hand side here. So they also have a series of folders are named, and also they also have the set of readme file here. So they are samples for you. Say so. Look at here first. So you will open those readme file first to see what kind of data will store in each subfolder. So another reason that is the readme file are really important is that you do help science. So when you think about the time for next researcher to keep a project moving on, so this project may be the future version of yourself. So if you have a strong data documentation, so it just take you a few minutes to keep the project moving forward. So let's talk about some key components. I'd like to suggest two ways to think about what is best to put in a README file. So you can include the title, study description, years active, access requirement, contact information, method, and stable format, and in a stable format file like a TXT file. So another way is to think about this organization is answering some classical generalist questions such as who, what, when, where, why of the project. So such as who will write the README file and what kind of information will be required and when will update and review the README, and where will the README file be placed, and why does your target audience need this README? So you should also start to think about all this helpful information that you want to share with others. So and actually you can use any kind of README template. So you can very easily to Google search the README template. So you can find a lot of very useful README template. So if it include those information. So and if you are so for our HKU staff and the researcher, so we are suggest use our README template. So we will suggest them to download our README template here in our research data LibGuide. So the README file should be also be specific about how much information should be included. Is a real changes. So it is certainly very context specific. So you should judge about how many informations can be provided in the README. So if someone was only look your README file and have not any other information about your study, so would those information is in the README file is enough for your reader to understand what your data about? So please also remember that so the README file is provide important information to you and others to help improve our research reproducibility and usability. Okay, so we are talking about what to deposit. So if your data includes the personal data, so the data should be put under the restricted access. So if the personal data from clinical research, so we should see the institutional review board IRB approved form. So if your data, if the personal data from no clinical research, so we also we will need to check whether you get the Human Research Ethics Committee approved. And also you should provide the approval code, consent form, ethical application form. And also you need to state that the risk of the re-identification from the different data file and how the risk has been minimized for any dataset intended for sharing. So for our data curation process, so we will take some time to check. So if your data includes the personal data, and whether if you have do some anonymizations for your data. So if we find your data contain any personal data during our data curation process, so we will suggest the student or researchers to put the data under the restricted access. Okay, so where to manage the research data? So as we spoken before, so our library just launched our institutional data repository data hub last year to store and manage the research data. So what is Data Hub? So Data Hub is a comprehensive institutional repository for research data and other forms of scholarly output. So the URL is here, datahub.hongkongu.hk. So the platform is based on the fixture. So there are several features of Data Hub. So you can access your data anywhere. So it is a secured cloud platform. And also, we provide the 100 gigabyte free storage for every RPG student and staff. So each Hong Kong U academic staff and researcher and RPG student can enjoy 100 gigabyte private storage. And also it's very easy for them to apply more storage because our platform have the button here say apply more storage, and the user can very easy just click the button and input the number of storage they want, and then we will receive the request and then approve it. So another feature is if you publish data in Data Hub, we will assign the dataset DOI to the published data. So you can get credit for the data sharing. And also, if you do not want published data at that time, you can reserve the DOI and add it in the reference list before the data get published. So you can set your data as confidential or set the embargo period for your dataset. And in Data Hub, so it has a project module and a collection module, so which allow you to share and collaborate the project with your lab mate or your colleague. So you can privately sharing the data to your colleague or lab mate and collaborate with any others. So the Data Hub is fulfill the file data principle. So which means the data in the Data Hub is findable, accessible, and interoperable and reusable. So with the fixture data preview features, so the user can easily preview the data on the web browser from the Data Hub. So you can see such as the video, such as map, 3D module, and even the large zip file. So you can see the zip file is like more than the total size is more than 10 gigabytes. So you can quickly preview the data in the zip file without download it. So you may not need to wait a long time to download the large zip file. Instead of you can preview the zip file structure on your browser quickly. So, and as I mentioned before, so every staff and student can get 100 gigabyte personal storage. So you can upload various type of files, so including but not limited to the dataset, figs, image, multimedia, poster, code script, software, models, etc. So you can upload any kind of files to our Data Hub. So and not only for research data, so you can also upload any other scholarly output, such as conference poster, presentation slides, and any research-related materials, etc. So, in order to let our data repository, Data Hub can be indexed in other platform. So we register our Data Hub in the RE3 data register of research data repository. So and also we register our platform in the file sharing. So file sharing is the platform which collect all the standards, database, data repository, policy. So it is the platform to collect all those informations. So you can find our Data Hub in those two platforms. So I quickly introduce some key components in our dataset page in the data hub. So for the published data in our data hub, so here is the example. So you will see the DOI here, and also the version control here. So you can quickly load back to the previous version. And also here they have some it's a matrix, so you can see the number of view, number of download, number of citation, and also it has the automatic batch here. So the blue color should means the social network. So it should be the Twitter mention this data set. So it will have the they have show the batch here. And also you can find the keywords and the categories here. So they are all control vocabularies, and also have some funding information here. So the funding information will connected with the dimensions. So if you click find out more, so it will jump to the dimensions grant page, which show more detailed information about this grant. And also we set some lessons for our dataset. So the default lessons is CCBYNC. So, but the users can choose different lessons. Also, if your data is related to any peer-reviewed publication, so you can add your publication here. So in this example, so the data is related to the peer-reviewed publications here. So if you click this publication, it will jump to the journal website with this publication. So the next part is the so this part is the readme file. So I already introduced our readme template before. So here is the example. So the researchers fill our readme template and upload with his research data in this dataset. And also our data curation process will briefly check the data, whether it contains the personal data or the readme template. So to whether the researchers provide the readme, and the readme is the readme file content is rich enough for any other user to read. So because our data curation process will make sure each data submission fulfill our dataset metadata standard. So so after we do the data curation process, so we can mine the DOI for those data. So the DOI is fulfill the dataset metadata standard. So you will see it includes the agency and the creators, date, description, funding reference, etc. So those information. So after we mine the DOI, so the metadata will send to the datasite. So with the dataset metadata, so our data can be indexed in the different kind of platform and search engine. So such as Google dataset search. So if you go to the Google dataset search, so you just type Hong Kong U Data Hub, so you can find a list of our published dataset in the Google dataset search. Okay. So for about how to upload our dataset, so actually the Data Hub is based on the Fixture platform. So the Fixture can provide a different kind of way to upload your data. So the most easy way is using the web interface. So you just click My Data and click Create Item. And then you can only you just fill some basic information here, and to upload and drag your file here, so you can upload your data. So because a lot of students, the research data size is quite large. It's like more than 5 GB per file. So so we will suggest them to use the FTP to upload the data to DataHub. So the FTP can allow the single file size less than 5 TB, so which should be meet most of our researchers or students' requirement. And also you will see the small GitHub logo here. So if your data is the computer coding and you already manage it in the GitHub, so you just click the GitHub and connect the GitHub your GitHub account with your DataHub account. And then you just choose which repository in your GitHub, so you can quickly, very easily to synchronize your GitHub repository to DataHub, and then you can choose publish or not. So go back to our RPG data process workflow. So we are already go through the stage 1, 2, and 3, and then we go to the final stage, thesis. So the student can submit the thesis on our etdlib.hong and then submit the e-thesis here. So after they submit the thesis, and then our library staff will collect it, and then we will curate it, and after that we will publish the thesis on our Hong Kong U Scholars Hub. All theses were in HKU thesis online collection. So this is the new versions of the Scholars Hub, so we will release it soon. So if your thesis related to any kind of research data, you deposit on the DataHub, so you will see the supplementary material tab here. So you can click this tab, and then you will see the research data related to this thesis. So you can preview the data file in this dataset, quickly preview it. So if you want to download it, or you want to find more information about this dataset, so you can click download, and then it will jump to the DataHub dataset page. So in the DataHub dataset page, so you can find more detailed information about this data, and also you can download the data here. Okay, so we have covered all the stages for the postgraduate student data submission workflow. So another research services we provided is the Sustainable Digital Scholarship, which is based on the DataHub. It's based on our DataHub. So this services is for those is for our Hong Kong U community members can have their data or ongoing project or future projects, or can host on the DataHub for collaboration and long-term access. So we can help to migrating the past or current project data to DataHub, and set up the customized page on DataHub for new project. So, and we can also provide some training session, the guideline about how to use the DataHub to preserve your project data. So the one use case is the IPCP project, is the intergenerational participatory co-design project. So it was the knowledge exchange and research collaboration project. So it's co-organized by different units in HKU. So we create the specialized collection page, and the data from three sub-projects in the IPCP are organized in the structured directory. And the published item can, all the published item can open accessible by public, and for those private items are stored in a data hub for archive only and would not be public accessible. So another example is the anti-extraditional law amendment bill research project. So the project itself, it has the website for this project. So the website is created by the researchers. So, but for the project data itself, so it deposits on the data hub, and then it linked with the project website. So you will see it get a few hundred views and around 200 downloads, and also have some Twitter mentioned this data. So next part is for our other research services. So this is the open access services. So we have signed some transformative agreement with the publisher. So it aims to redirect the funding into academic publishing from supporting subscription to supporting the OA publishing. So actually, our library with other UGC funded library and have started to explore how transformative agreement can benefit researchers in Hong Kong. So we have working together to negotiate and sign some transformative agreement with the individual publisher. So the first publisher we sign is a Cargill. So we will further discuss the OA chain and consider how to fund the transformative agreement in the long run. And also we have the LibGuide for the open access in HKU library. So in our new Scholars Hub, so we will also show our publications open access status. So this function is integrated by the unpaid wall. So in the publication search page, so we will have the version filter and then open access status filter here. So you can quickly select the open access article, or you can select the preprint or post-print article in our Scholars Hub. And also in the individual publication page, so you will see the links for the full text. So in this section, so you will also find the open access version link here. So if we do not have the full text in our institutional repository, so you can click this link to go to the open access free version to see this article, to view this article. So another research services is the research metric services at Hong Kong U Library. So our library also collect and show the research metric in the article level, journal level, and the research level. Article level, journal level, and the researcher level. So in our Scholars Hub, so it has the trending information module here. So it will show the latest ESI top paper, or including highly cited paper and hot paper from Hong Kong U researchers. And also, we will give our researchers the highly cited researcher badge. So if he or she is in the ESI, if he or she in the Caribbean highly cited researcher list, and also we will give the badge about authors of highly cited paper and authors of hot papers badge to our researchers. So in the publication page, so it has the icon show. Here you will find show if this paper is the hot paper or highly cited paper, and also it shows the journal impact factor and the SCI Margo journal ranking. So as the Web of Science Caribbean just released the latest 2020 impact factor, so this number should be updated today, I think. So in the research metric module here, so you will find it shows the automatic widget and the PlumX and the S-site. So including the number of citing publications, number of supporting publication, and the number of mentioned publication or contrasting publication, etc. And also we have the citation widgets here, which shows the number of citations from Web of Science, Scopus, PubMed, and also have the FWCI value for this publication. It gets from several. So actually the average value for FWCI is 1. So, but you can find this article FWCI is nearly 171, so which is very high. So in the researcher level, so we will give the highly cited researchers and the authors of highly cited paper badge for each researchers. And also we have the research impact module. So if you click the research impact module, so it will show all the research metric we get from the CIVO for these researchers. So we get all the research metric in the recent 5 years for each Hong Kong U researchers. And also in the bibliometric module, so it shows the our researchers' Scopus ID, Publons ID, and any other IDs, author IDs for our Hong Kong U researchers can show in the bibliometrics module. So we are also aggregated and group all the researchers' metric by department, by faculty level to provide the bibliometric and the research impact services and report to our university senior management team. So the last one is the Hong Kong U e-journal services. So the e-journal services is free hosting services provided by our library to assist faculty and the research center in publishing the open access journal. So these services is including hosting and the support run the open source open journal system. So including we can training and supporting the open journal system software, journal website design, layout services, publication workflow, and user support. So, and our library will also assign the DOI for the published article, because we are the Crossref members. So we can assign the DOI from Crossref for your journal article. So this is the first journal. So built in our Open Journal System platform. Okay. So in the end, so I would like to say it's open science is a quite big area. So the open data and the research data is a part of open science big picture. So for our librarians, so we still recognize and discuss a lot for open science movement. Open science is a trend. So we can pay attention to our patient to see if they have the need or request toward the open science practice. So we can provide the open data, we can provide the research data services to provide the open access services, and also we can negotiate the transformative agreement with the publisher to help our researcher to try out some open science tools. So there are a lot of things we can explore to provide the services to our patients for our librarian. Yeah, so that's all for my presentations. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, so on time, I think. Yeah, so now it's already 11. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation, Ms. Tina and also Mr. JC. But I just want to highlight, we have received a lot of questions, I think, from the participants. But meanwhile, maybe Mr. JC, right now, I'm seeing your screen, your camera is like you are freezing right now. So maybe you can refresh back your camera.
So can you see my?
Yeah, we can hear your voice clearly, but your video is freezing right now.
Probably I stop sharing
Yeah,
my screen and.
yeah, it's okay, but we still can hear your voice.
Yeah,
So
probably
so
the camera have some problem.
yeah, it's okay, it's okay. So now let us proceed to our Q&A session. So we're going to have Q&A for around 15 minutes. Hopefully we can answer them all. So now let me read the question by one. So the first question is from Mr. Akmal Ahmad. And the question is, when does HKU libraries regularly promote the use of DMP? Is it during the new postgraduate student orientation session or at any other time?
I think this one. I think Tina can probably
Yeah,
Tina.
please. Please.
Yeah, actually, we every semester, at the beginning of the semester, we organize different library workshops. One of them is the postgraduate library workshop for the new postgraduate students. So, in the workshop, we introduce research data services and part of the research support. So we promote RDM to the new students, especially for the RPG students, to show them that the compulsory requirement for them to submit DMP and also research data before they submit their final thesis. So this is the beginning of the term. Then we, GC also work with our graduate school to promote, to offer the research data management workshop for different faculties. So in addition, we also offer some general research data management seminars to the university staff and students at large. So that is that is the open sessions for all.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Tina. The second question is from Dr. Yanti Idaya Aspura. The question is for data in readme. Do you have any policy on file file naming convention for indexing?
Uh, so we don't have any policy to force the student to provide the README, but we will suggest them to provide the README. So including the file naming conversion, yeah. So we will encourage the student. So when we do the data curation process, so if we find the student didn't provide the README or the README is not enough, so we will send email to ask the student to provide the more detailed README file to us.
Okay. The next question is RDM program developed by HKU developed in-house or based on subscription?
I'm not sure the program means. It means the workshop or is in.
I think, yeah. Do you have any subscription-based tool that you use? If I'm not mistaken about the
Oh,
question.
it's a tools. So
Yeah. Do you have any
so
subscription kind of tool that you use for RDM?
so the tools is fixture, so the fixture needs subscribe. But for other tools such as the DMP tool and our institutional repositories, the Scholars Hub, so we are developed by ourselves. So it's not any tools on the one that can provide. So we just developed by ourselves.
Okay.
For
So
the research,
yes.
for the research data policy of the university, our policy was adapted from the Oxford University's research data policy. So we do borrow some best practice from other universities.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. The next question is from Mr. Akmal. Is the HKU library incurring the cost to subscription of its share, institutional account, or to HKU Research Center?
So I think it's our library cover the subscription fee, right, Tina?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So library incur the cost. Huh?
Mhm.
Okay, next question is, do HKU, yeah, actually this question is from me myself. Do HKU take into account the data sharing and data practices among the researchers as part of their tenure evaluation and also performance assessment?
This is a good question. So yeah, actually, we will suggest our research office to take consideration about data sharing to our researchers as part of tenure evaluation and the performance assessment. So this is good suggestion. Yeah, but right now we didn't take this one as a part of the tenure evaluation.
Okay. Okay, next question is from USM librarian, Mr. Ikhwan Ismail. How HKU librarian upskilling in RDM?
So actually, we have the training to provide all the subject librarian about the research data management and the data hub, how to use it, and what the features for the data hub, and how to promote it in our in how to promote it in different faculties. So we have some internal workshop like those RDM work training and the skill. Yeah.
We also encourage librarians to attend the RDM related training from outside. We share the training events with our librarians from time to time.
Oh, yeah, that's great. The next question is it compulsory for researchers to fill in the DMP and do the library keep the completed DMP?
Yes, it's compulsory for all postgraduate students and the external grant PI. So the external grant PI also need provide the data management plan. It's a compulsory.
Okay. Next question is from Dr. Zainab. OSS is used to develop the application? Yeah. OJS? Yeah, OJS.
Yes, yes. So it's OJS is used for our e-journal services. So the OJS is the open source is an open
Yes.
source journal platform. So you can easily download it from their website, and then you can implement it in your library server to provide these services. But OJS is so they have the module for the DOI mounting, but you need as the become as the Crossref member to then you can assign the DOI for the journal article, for the published journal article.
Okay. Okay, another question is about the workshop that you organize at HKU libraries. What kind of workshop that you organize in order to explain further to the researchers about RDM and open science?
For the workshop, so each semester we have the research data week, so we will prepare several research data workshops, so including some open science tools. So last semester, so we have the workshop for the protocol.io, so which is the open experiment protocol platform. So we will invite the speaker from different kind of open science tool and let them to introduce those open science tools to our university researchers. And also we will also organize some research data workshops, so including the web scraping, like OpenRefine, like those data workshop, hands-on data workshop to our researchers.
We also
Yeah.
invite Figshare to organize some seminars to our on Figshare to our researchers and students.
Okay. So all the program are organized for free, or you need to pay to them?
Is free, yeah. So we are invited from yeah, because we are I think it's free, yeah. Tina. So we all
Yes, it is.
yes, all invited speaker is we didn't pay the money for those workshop, yeah.
Yeah, because we have subscribed to their products, so it is part of their job to do the training, to provide the training for their customers.
Yes.
Yeah, and even if you didn't subscribe, so actually they have some free quota to use. So such as protocol.io. So if you can free to use it. So if you publish your protocol, but if you want to keep your protocol as private, so you need to subscribe. But if you say so you just want to use it to publish, to share your protocol, so that is free. So you can use it, free to use.
Yeah, so it seems that we have another 3 minutes, but it seems that we don't have any further question. But maybe from myself, I just want to ask, what actually the biggest challenges that you need to face in order to ensure this initiative is a success at HKU? The biggest challenges that you need to face in implementing this initiative.
So for me, the biggest change is so if you don't have the policy to support the research data management, so this is a little difficult to start your research data services, because they are the actual work for the researchers to do the data submission and the DMP. So you should introduce the benefit and why we need to do it for all the researchers in the university to let them know the research data services, including the data management, data set submission, data sharing, are the good practice to promote the open science, and also it will benefit to our university. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also another challenge is to how to work partner with other university campus units to implement the research data policy and ensure the researchers will comply with the different requirements. For example, from the university, from the founders, and from the journals.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it seems that we have another question coming in. So can we read? Because we have another 2 minutes. The next question is, can you share with us about the use of this space quiz based on HKU knowledge and experiences?
Yes, so yes, we are use the DSpace quiz right now for our Scholars Hub, but but we actually our DSpace is not like the traditional DSpace, so we are modified a lot of module in the DSpace. So if you see our Scholars Hub, so which is different with other DSpace platform. So yes, because we are using the DSpace feature, but in the backend, so we change the DSpace database and the relational table, etc. So actually, we are a lot of things we are developed by ourselves. So instead of just use the DSpace the system. Yeah, so because we find the DSpace the database, so it's quite complicated, and our university have some customer design and customer requirement, so we cannot use the DSpace directly. So we are based on the DSpace, we design some several features in our new Scholars Hub. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe we need another session on that, Mr. JC, in order to explain further about this space quiz.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think now it's already 11:15. So according to our timetable, we're going to finish by now. So I think if you have any other question that we are unable to answer during this session, I think we share you the email address of Mr. JC and also Miss Tina. Then you can post your question directly to their email. I think Miss Tina and Mr. JC are more than happy to assist you through email. All right.
Yes.
So I think that's all from us. So we have come to the end of our session. So again, on behalf of organizing committee at USM Library, we would like to express our fullest thanks to our speakers, Ms. Tina Yang and also Mr. JC Ziao, for spending your valuable time with us this morning. And I would like also to extend our thanks to all the viewers for joining us and supporting our activities. We want also to apologize for any inconvenience during the session. After that, we will also feel so happy to invite you for our next program or our next webinar under Open Science webinar series, whereby we're going to invite Megan Hartman, Head of Engagement from Fitshare, to share with us about the topic of using Fitshare for storing, sharing, and managing research data on 5th of August, so next month. So please book your date, and inshallah we're going to meet again on 5th of August for another session. Before we end, don't forget again to fill in our e-feedback form. I think our committee member have shared the link to our e-feedback form, and please fill in the form in order to get e-certificate and also CPD point for USM viewers. As well as please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like our Facebook page in order to get latest update for our upcoming events. So I think that's all from us. Thank you very much once again. See you next time. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. With that note, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and bye-bye, everyone.
Bye bye.